to me. I just wanted to pop on here real quick, y'all, just to share with you such an accomplishment that I got. Let me turn the camera around, okay? Let me turn it around. You see I'm sweating. The mosquitoes have definitely taken over. I had my citronella out here, so the mosquitoes have taken over. And I almost came in the house, y'all, because remember I made a video about the invisible bug that I couldn't identify, but it bites you, and I just swell up. So a lot of you said that they were no-see-ums, so that's what we're gonna call them. So we're gonna call them no-see-ums. And so I got bit not once, not twice, but 3 times, and I just got upset. And I was just like, you know what, why? Like, I'm covered up, I'm hot, I'm humid. We've been having a lot of rain. You may see some thunder, hear some thunder in the background, but I got it done. So I'm really just taking a break, because if you were on our live last night, it was later than what I thought. We started just like harvesting our garlic and prepping it for storage. And so I got about 25% more that I need to get done. So I'm probably just gonna sit out here now. I'll share with you what I'm talking about. I'm probably just gonna sit out here now and just enjoy. But if you see the title, y'all, is what Chris wanted for Father's Day. So what I will tell you is that Chris doesn't ask for a whole lot. And so I knew when he asked for this that he was serious, and I just needed to get it done. One thing that I was telling my friend is that Chris and we don't work well together, because he has his way of doing things and I have my way of doing things. And sometimes when I step back and look at how I work, a lot of people can't deal with me. I'm serious. So I'm gonna give you an example, and then I'll tell you what Chris wanted for Father's Day. So I'll give you an example. Like today, as I was like potting up plants, I walked over there and I was like, no, I don't want to put this pot here. Like, I know I easily got probably about 15,000 steps in, just walking back and forth, taking my time, doing what I felt like doing. But when Chris is honed in on something that he wants to get done, it's like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And I don't work like that, because I feel like, even like I'm this type of person. Like, go ahead, do it once, so that you don't have to keep going back and revisiting it again. So what I mean by that is, there were some plants that I needed to pot up, but I didn't want to move yet until I potted it up. But in Chris's world, it's like, just get them moved and deal with it later. But I just stroll back and forth, like, let me pot up this one. Okay, let me water it. All right, let me sit it over here. No, I don't want it over there. And then, okay, this is where I want it. And I promise y'all, like 30 minutes have passed by versus his 5 minutes. Let's just get it moving and go. So I'm going to turn the camera around. And to be honest, I'm glad that he asked for this, because I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So let me turn the camera around. So first I'll tell you is that all Chris wanted was for this patio to be cleaned off. Y'all, I had made a pathway that only I knew, and a pathway that only I could walk through. If you weren't used to this pathway, you would trip over stuff, and you would get upset. So he would come in and just shake his head. And so he said, okay, all I want is for the patio to be cleaned off, because I had pots up here, I had plants up here, I had soil up here, I had all kind of stuff. So if you're in the Atlanta / McDonough area, one of the things that I do is I sell plants locally. So I had plants that where I was going to meet people and sell the plants too. So I had probably 8 flats of plants just on this patio. But I had a walkway that only I knew the walkway. It wasn't like a straight walk walkway. It was a zigzag walkway, and you would, like, if you didn't know what you was doing, or if you came out late at night, you was gonna hurt yourself. Okay, you really were, because you didn't know the path. And so I came out this morning early, and then I had to stop and go meet some people for some plants. Then I came back. Then it started raining, and I was like, it actually was sprinkling, and I actually said to myself, I'm not about to let these sprinkles sit up here and make me go in the house. I'm gonna finish this, because I know, like, Chris even walked out like twice, and it's like he didn't see any progress whatsoever. So he shook his he shook his head. Like, he's been shaking his head like for the past 2 weeks, because I know it's a mess. But I'm gonna turn the camera around. Like, I'm seriously like proud. I can sit out here now. I got my citronella growing, but let me turn the camera around. So I'm just showing y'all this area right here, because all of it was filled with plants. It's filled with flats. But this is what I'm gonna tell you. Now, over in my plant storage area, which is where a lot of things went, I got to get right. But I'm going to step back a little bit, because now you actually have a pathway. And to my friend, we talked on the phone today. If she watches the replay, I was like, I hope I could get it done. She was like, you can. And I'm like, I'm not going to stop until I get it done, because you all know, and if you don't know, I'm a multitasker. And a lot of times, being a multitasker, things get worked on, but they don't actually ever get 100% done. So I've been out here off and on early in the morning, but I can officially say that I'm done. Like, none of this, all of these were like plants. I still got this one. These are begonias right here. I've been putting these on the front porch. And then it was just herbs in small pots that I needed to plant up. So I planted up that. I actually put this tarragon up under here, because I want to put that out in the garden. But all of this, and Chris is going to come out here and he's actually going to pressure wash it. But all of this, y'all, when I tell you, it was just filled with plants. I had bleeding hearts that I had started. I had a lot of rosemary. I had been propagating a lot of plants. And so I'm going to step back, because this is now clear. Like, this was not able to be walked through. This whole table right here, it had pots, empty pots. It had, let me show you some of the stuff I put in here. I just put it in this right here. It had my scissors, it had my dowel, it had my screwdriver, it had like signs right here. And I'm just like, all of this was on the table with pots. It was awful. It was awful. So I wanted to come on live, because I'm like, you know what? I'm actually glad Chris did say this is all he wanted for Father's Day, because it needed to be cleaned off. I'm gonna come out here. I have my little speakers. I'm gonna put my speakers on my phone. A lot of times I like to listen to a podcast, or something else on YouTube. But I'm telling y'all, it was awful. Now, it's still some things that needs to be done. One of the things, as I was looking, but I'm going to tell y'all this before I keep going. So when I'm out here working, as I'm walking back and forth, because this over here past the fence is a plant holding area. It's plants that I'm selling, plants that need to be planted, just a lot of plants, okay? That's why we're Auyanna Plants. But let me tell you, I was looking at this. This is the balloon flower right here, the purple flower. But I'm not necessarily pleased with it. I'm not pleased with the growth habit. It kind of like stumbles over. It's not an upright position. And so I left this plant right here, which is the salvia. I know the sun may be coming in, but this is actually this is called purple gum candles salvia. And I think I'm going to replace it. Now, I'm not just going to pull it up. I may. And that's the crazy part, is because when I grew the balloon flowers in Savannah, they didn't tumble over like this. So it's probably the variety. It's more, it just like tumbles over. It's not upright like I like it. And I'm like, I'm at a point now in my life, Like, if you don't love it, you don't have to continue to grow it or look at it. A lot of times I pull things up and I repot and I put them in a pot. If I don't like it, I may give it to somebody and say, hey, you want to grow balloon flowers? Here you go, but here's a warning. They don't grow upright like you like it. So if you have a place for it, it is. I'm just at that place now. A lot of times I used to just deal with it, or I used to just say, okay, I spent my money, I'm going to grow it. And it just wasn't what I absolutely loved. And so now I'm at a point now where if I don't love it, it's coming up. It is coming up. No questions asked. So I don't love this balloon flower. I don't. And so what I'm going to do is probably put this salvia right here. I'm going to cut this oregano back. This is two types of oregano. It's the Greek and it's the Italian oregano. And I just told this flocks, let me tell y'all, here in the Atlanta area zone AA, like we've been having a lot of rain. Like last night, I feel like the heavens opened, like for about an hour and a half of hard rain. So if you see my camera jump a little bit, because the sump pump comes on about, I would say about every hour, but it just scares me. For somebody who loves to garden, any little noise, any little thing, I jump. The deer yesterday, the deer today came, like we was eyeing each other, like looking eye to eye. But let me tell you what I didn't like about that deer. So over, let me point to y'all. Right, I'm gonna just walk back here. So we have pears, a pear tree. And what I will tell you is that we're going on year, what is this? Year two of being here. And y'all, I have not gotten any pears yet. Not a one pear, not a one good pear, okay? Because by the time I feel like it's pear season, which is in the fall, it's no pears left. Now the pears grow. I'm gonna show you how they're growing. But it's between, it gotta be the deers. After these deers just being real disrespectful right here. The deers and also the squirrels. I see squirrels. I'm okay with sharing with nature. I don't have a problem, but don't be wasteful. Okay, that's my thing. And I hope this deer come inside this fence. So I've seen him 2 days in a row and a rabbit, and I'm hoping he doesn't come in the fence. Okay, so we got pears. Just all y'all look at all of the pears, okay, that's growing. If you can see, like we're loaded with pears. But let me tell you what this deer did today. He bit one of the pears. Oh, it's down here on the ground. Let me get a little bit closer. Just pears all over, all over. We didn't get plums this year like I thought. Not plums, but peaches like I thought. But we did, like every year, and this is year two, I always see a lot of pears, but by fall, we don't have nothing. But let me tell you what the deer did today. The deer came, and it's still on the ground. Honey, he took him a pear, and he spit it out. And I was like, look, now you're not going to be wasteful. First of all, the pears, they're not ready, but don't do that. Like, don't, like, don't do that. But do y'all see all of these pears up here? Like, I'm telling y'all, if I could get, I don't even want all the pears. I'll share them with nature. But I always think if I could get about 50% of all of these pears right here to make pear jam, and things like that, I'll be fine. I'll give the rest to nature. But I'm going to tell Chris he may have to cut this because this might be a temptation for the deers to come inside of the gate. Now, they've been saying outside. The one yesterday, they were kind of eating grass. But, honey, this deer came today, and we just locked eyes with each other. We locked eyes, and it was like he took one of the pears off and just spit it out. Just